DreAllDay.com.
Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. Topic of this video is stay out of the 80%. Now, my line of work, I'm in the thought leadership space. I do a lot of coaching, consulting. People get into my courses, programs, live events, and things like that. And I was on an interview the other day, and the host of the show was asking me, well, Dre, what kind of people do you look for your program, or who are your ideal people in your program? And he does coaching too, but different target, but he just wanted me to articulate it so the audience could understand it. And I thought it'd be a good idea for me to share this with all of you. When it comes to things like coaching is like, and I'm not talking about coaching like you play on a sports team, a coach just comes with it. That's just part of the deal. But for those of you in your everyday lives, those of you who are professionals, having a coach is optional. You choose to get a coach. It's not something that you have to have. And there are plenty of people out there who will tell you, they'll rationalize, hey, I'm doing fine, I don't need a coach and things like that. The thing that we all understand is that high-level performers, people who perform at the highest level, they all have coaches. This is why professional athletes have coaches. This is why your favorite singer has a coach. Is why the business person name a business person who's highly successful, I guarantee you that they have coaches in different areas and aspects of their lives to help them be successful. So you look at somebody like someone that many of you would understand. Let's say somebody like LeBron James, right? He has coaches in every area of his life. So everybody's heard that LeBron spends $1 million a year or more on his body, and I believe that. It's the only way he can keep playing the way he has, even with his physical gifts. He ain't the first athlete to have those kind of physical gifts, but he's the first one to be that good and stay that good for as long as he has. He's the first one to do that because of the technology and the things that we know about the body nowadays, and the fact that you can access it as long as you're willing to invest in yourself. LeBron clearly has done that. There's no way he could do what he's done for as long as he has that way, but he has people for his body, for what he puts in his body, his food, of course, on the court, basketball, his training. So as far as like his skill development with the ball, the stuff that he does with his body for as far as like working out and getting in game shape, that kind of stuff. And then a lot of people like to talk about LeBron does all these things business-wise. Well, the thing is, I mean, we all understand this, that the reason he has the ability to do what he does business-wise is because he has finances and he has access. And all of that is based on what? What he does on that court. Because of what he does on the court, he makes a lot of money, and then he has access to certain people because of who he is and what he's done on the basketball court. The basketball is the golden goose that lays those golden eggs for him to do all the other things that he does. But understand this, even when he steps into the business world, LeBron has people around him who know things about business that he doesn't know, and there's no reason why he would know. I mean, he went straight from high school to playing basketball, so he doesn't have a formal business education. It's not he spent a bunch of time building a business from scratch. He didn't do that. Well, he kind of did, but he didn't spend a bunch of time doing it. It kind of happened overnight. As soon as he went to the NBA, he got a check, right? So he didn't have to do the same things that most people do traditionally building a business, but at the same time, he understood, hey, I can't just jump into this with all this money, not knowing what I'm going to do, because his money would be separated from him if he didn't know what he was doing. So what does he have? I guarantee you LeBron has people around him who he pays for access to information and insights about how to run and operate and build his business portfolio, whatever he has going on. I guarantee you he didn't just go out there and just start throwing money around and everything just worked. Like, nobody does that. I'm sharing all of that. I'm just using LeBron as an example here to frame the point, which is this. When it comes to things like coaching and people who invest in things that they don't quote unquote have to get, but they do it anyway, and they put money behind it, I'm not talking about time, energy, attention, and focus. I'm talking about money, because people have a very emotional connection to their money. All humans. Here's the thing that you got to understand, and why this topic is staying out of the 80%. 20% of people invest in coaching. Let me tell you who the 20% are. There's 10% of people who are at the bottom rung of things and nothing's working for them, and they're kind of like in an emergency situation where nothing's working, and if they don't do something immediately, and when I say do something, what I mean is if they don't make an immediate change to their approach and what they're doing, then they're going to suffer dire consequences. That's the bottom 10%. Those are people who invest in coaching. Now, the other 10% of people who invest in coaching to make up the 20% are the people who are already outperforming everybody else. They're already in the top. They're already in the top 10% of the world at what they do. They're already better than everybody else, and they're already making more money than everybody else. And the reason why they invest in coaching is because they understand that investing in coaching is the reason why they're better than everybody right now. So all they're doing is continuing to do the things, they're continuing to practice the habits that got them to the level that they're at. Any of you ever read the book called The Slight Edge? That's what this is about. The Slight Edge is about when you're already better than everyone else, or you're amongst the people who are amongst the best, you're already hanging with the top 1% of the 1%. How do you get ahead of that 1%? Is that you got to figure out what's that little thing that you can do consistently that will separate you from the pack. And those are the people who, that top 10% are the people who practice the slight edge. So this is usually the people who get coaching. They're the people who are already at the bottom, and they're like, in emergency, urgent situation, we got to do something like ASAP. They go do something finally after 10 years of telling themselves to do something but not doing anything. And then you got the people who are already at the top, and the reason that they stay at the top is because they keep investing in themselves. They keep doing things that most people don't do. Even though everybody knows about it, they simply won't do it because most people are just too lazy to invest in themselves. And the whole point is the following. When you hear the topic, or you hear the saying rather, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, this is what I'm explaining here. And 80% of people, by the way, they don't do anything. They just keep going along, basically sleepwalking through life, telling themselves that they got everything under control, even though they know that they don't, and telling everybody else they got everything under control, even though they clearly do not. But they are able to rationalize the fact that they're okay, and they just live their entire lives okay, and they never actually reach their potential because they don't do anything. They don't make any wholesale changes to their approach. They just keep doing the same stuff they've always done, which means they're going to keep getting the same things they always get. So if you want to be different than most people, you either got to get into a situation where it's an emergency, it's a dire circumstance, and you have to change and you're forced to, or you got to be a person who's already one of the best, and you continue to make the investments and execute the disciplines that made you the best in the first place, so you get further and further ahead of all the masses who are not willing to do anything different because they craft a story in their mind that makes it okay to be okay. Question is, which one do you want to be and how you want to go about doing it? That's the question. So a couple things for you to do. First of all, my next event, Work on Your Game Live, is happening February 3rd and 4th here in Miami. You want to get your ticket to that event ASAP, go to workonyourgame.live. The link's down below. Get your ticket. Secondly, my daily motivation text comes out every morning for free to everyone in my text community. Text me at my number 305-384-6894 to get the daily motivation. And third, the next step to go deeper into my world is joining my university. That's at workonyourgameuniversity.com. That's where all my coaching programs, my courses, and everything else are at. Work on your game. Dre all day.